All right, joining us now is somebody who was a force to reckon with, a powerful figure in the politics of Karachi, in the politics of Sindh. But today, his party and himself have been relegated to also ran political players. Altaf Hussain is the founding chairman of the MQM, once the most important political entity in the city of Karachi. Altaf Saab, thank you very much for speaking with us here on CNN News 18. Let me start with you. This week, the MQM celebrates its 40th founding day. You're the founder chairman of this all-powerful movement, which, like I said in my introduction, used to be the most important political force in Karachi. Today, when you look back at the last 40 years, there are different claimants to the MQM. There's MQM London that you represent. There is the MQM PIB, MQM Bahadurabad, the Pak Sarzameen Party. Who is the real MQM? Who is the real inheritor of the MQM?
The role of the establishment, whether the Pakistani establishment, Indian establishment, American establishment, they have their own designs for their under the banner of national interest. So I would give you an example of Nelson Mandela. I would give you an example of Martin Luther King. Their nations were subjugated, neglected, victimized, discriminated, humiliated by the occupying forces. And they started movement to attain the rights of the subjugated people as well as the African peoples in the United States of America by Mr. Luther King. Said then the establishment of those countries tried very much hard to establishment equal parties or to create factions amongst the Martin Luther King or Nelson Mandela movement. But those who gave an ideology, they can never be bought. But after that, those who was artificially created by the establishment, they survive only for few days. But nature is nature or unnatural is unnatural.
How much command, how much influence does your party really have in the Karachi of today? I mean, the 2018 elections are upon us. It's going to happen in the next couple of months in Pakistan. Do you think that post the 2018 election, your party will survive and that you will really have a political future post 2018? What do you think will happen to your party in the 2018 general election in Pakistan?
The narrative of the MQM for the coming election, which is going to be held on 2018, it is our wish to take participation in those general elections. But let me tell you the real fact that my house, I'm the founder leader of the MQM, my house has been totally sealed. My offices have been bulldozed. All the other charitable organizations have been locked up, and nobody who is either a member or a leader of the MQM, true MQM, or who is a loyalist of Altaf Hussain is not allowed to step out from their houses. And at the moment, thousands of MQM workers have been enforcedly disappeared in front of their fathers, in front of their family members, and thousands have been incarcerated in different prisons of Pakistan. And recently, what happened? But here I have the photograph of this. This is the professor, Dr. Hassan Zafar Arif, who is a PhD, double PhD, philosopher, intellectual, writer, 73 years old. He was the professor of Karachi University of Pakistan. He joined the MQM and he started doing the political work of the MQM. He was threatened by the ISI, Inter Services Intelligence, and the other army establishment forces not to carry out stop activities. Otherwise, 22,000 of MQM workers, office bearers have already been brutally extrajudicially executed. Similarly, you have to face the same fate. But he refused. This gentleman was a brave man. He was a philosopher. Thousands, not thousands, I would say millions of students he had, and he still have millions of students, but they even didn't bother. They were kidnapped him, the ISI people, Rangers people, paramilitary Rangers, Pakistan Army, and took him to the unknown place and brutally tortured and shot him dead. Similarly, they have done to my elder brother, 70 years old, Nasir Hussain, my nephew, 28 years old, qualified engineer. They were arrested from their house in front of my bhabi and other family members, and they were tortured for 3 days. Later on, they were blindfolded and took them into the suburb of Karachi known as Gidap area of Karachi. There were both of them shot dead.
The popular perception in Karachi is that MQM used to be a powerful force in Karachi politics, but it lost out because it got mixed up in violent politics. MQM became synonymous with gang violence in Karachi, and that's why it lost a lot of its political power that it used to enjoy at one point of time. When you look back as founder chairman of this party, and when you look back at the last 40 years, do you regret the political party that you established taking a violent turn, becoming almost like an organized mafia?
Mr. Zakka, you are asking me the same questions as the British Empire and the British rulers blame Mahatma Gandhi, whose movement was non-violence movement, but termed as violent movement. He never ever preached violence, but when the British rulers killed extrajudicially all the freedom fighters, so people have used to react. It's natural, and they did it. It was not the fault of the Mahatma Gandhi's preaching. It's a natural reaction of human being. It is called in my preaching psycho-reactionary actions of human beings to retaliate. So, if that was not my teaching, I am against violence, any sorts of violence. My preaching is non-violence, peaceful, democratic. I am secular, liberal. That is my fault. I am not Jagirdars. I am not Vaderas. unfortunately, since the inception of Pakistan, Pakistan has been occupied by the generals, by the Waderas, by the Jagirdars, feudal landlords. Unfortunately, after 70 years, we have not been abolished feudal system from Pakistan, but in India, after the independence, the success of India is that they have abolished the feudal system from India. That is why India is flourishing.
You were once against the all-powerful military. You took on the biggest institutions in your country, one the military, the other the higher judiciary. You call them out as both corrupt institutions. Do you reckon that that's why both the army, at least sections within the army, and the higher judiciary came after your party, perhaps in cahoots, to try and finish you off?
You are asking me a question which needs to be answered step by step. The judiciary role is to provide justice to the victims, not the oppressors. When judiciary go opposite to that, they must be criticized. Similarly, the generals and army, they are to defend the borders of the country, but rather than to defend the borders of the country, if they started killing their own people because they are not fulfilling their agendas and they are not fulfilling to sell their conscience. I am the only one in Pakistan who refused to sell my conscience. That is why they are against me. They offered me, I have been 3 times in jail. They did whatever they could do. But I said, okay, I am ready to die, but I am not going to surrender. I am not going to retreat. So I am not blaming. Don't blame. See the reality, ground reality. Please try to understand. The ground reality is entirely different. You cannot even imagine when the young boys, students were abducted from in the presence of their family members by the hands of the army, and they took them unknown place, and later on they were extrajudicially executed. What do you expect the reaction of the members of those family?
You are a British citizen. You've been living in the UK since 1992. I know when General Musharraf was the leader of your country, you were made an offer, a very serious offer, to come back to Pakistan and come back to the political mainstream in Karachi. You denied, you declined that offer. Now when you look back again, do you regret continuing to live on in the UK? Do you regret not having gone back to Pakistan? Because perhaps if you did, your influence in Karachi politics and in Pakistan politics would have perhaps continued.
I will give you the answer, but let me tell you, Pakistan is my country and my motherland. My forefathers' land was India. So if Pakistan consider me as sons of the soil, equal citizen, then I will consider Pakistan as my motherland. If they don't consider me as son of the soil, how can I accept this land is my motherland? So there was an agreement, and I would request the Prime Minister, present Prime Minister Mr. Narendra Modi, that we were part and parcel of India. And I have said in many speeches that the division of the India was the blunder mistake in the history of mankind. For example, I am declared as by the Pakistan establishment traitor, but they are celebrating Allama Iqbal, and they termed him as true Pakistani because they were Punjabi speaking. And who wrote the Hindi Tarana first time? सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा सारे जहां से अच्छा हिंदुस्तान हमारा हमारा हम बुलबुले हैं इसकी ये है जहां हमारा हमारा. अब आप देख, now you can see the difference. He is termed as true Pakistani while he died in 1939. He never ever said in any poetry, in any book, that he wants independent state for Muslims. Yes, he said we want autonomous provinces within the boundary limit of Pakistan, India, not separate homeland. Pakistani history have been distorted by the present army. Unfortunately, in the present world, there are more than 200 countries. Every country has its own army, but unfortunately, there is one country that is known as Pakistan, which has no army, but army has the country. That is the name of Pakistan.